use to do those things you need to do for yourself?
One, I'm black and African. And the one thing, do you know what I mean? And the one thing coming from I think most people come from backgrounds like this, whereby your parents, it doesn't matter whether you're ill, whether whatever. So I've been raised like that. Like no matter what, you get you meet the demand. You make the goal. You have to meet the goal. No matter what. You're ill. You're sniffing a little bit. Here, take some Vicks. Go to school.
Done.
Do you know what I mean? Nobody's going to say, it's okay, baby. Even though they will, but you still have to do it.
You do,
by force. And I think partially, I will say this. I love my parents for doing that, because I remember I went through a situation. I won't go too far into it, but I went through a situation and it required me going to another country with people who just before we had flown to that country, the relationship just burst, and we were just going through a lot of situations. Anyway, I was gonna not go, because even though I'd already paid everything, and my mom said, so you're not going because
you don't talk to these people.
I thought she would even be like, listen, it's a new country, I've heard things about it, I don't want you to go on your own. She was like, so you're what? I'm telling you, that was the best thing ever. As much as I was very, very scared, I was nervous. I went and I had the best time of my life, and I came back stronger. And
so did you go by yourself?
And then I met friends. And then I enjoyed myself.
Go on holiday, but do what you have to do, boy. Yeah.
But the point is that I suppose I've grown up with that mentality that no matter how you feel, you push forward. And when it comes down to gym, and gym is the best, even work, best things for me to kind of give as an example. And with gym, sometimes I will go and I've come after work, I'm tired, I don't want to go in, but I know it's the right thing to do, because the one thing I say to myself is, if you get out of the routine, that's a slippery slope down.
It is.
I've sat outside of gym for like half an hour in my car, looking at the gym looking at me.
In your eyes.
In my eyes. Eye to eye.
Looking at each other.
And I realised, I'm wasting time. Let me just step in.
You could have been on the treadmill by now.
Let me just get in. And you know what? Yes, I got in. And once I started, me and the gym were going back and forth with each other. But by the time I was done, and that's just the concept. But every single time I finish something, doesn't matter. It's not just about gym. Anything that I don't want to do, that I push through and do because that's life. In the end, I'm actually happy that I've done it.
No, I love it. Like, I love that go-getter mentality. And I think for me, growing up, I didn't necessarily have that. I had to kind of cultivate that in my older years. Probably like school and stuff, getting work done. I think that's kind of for me where it started. But obviously, being an adult, you have to have that kind of mentality, isn't it? And I just love it. So looking back, what are 3 things you'll say to the Hope 10 years ago?
The Hope 10 years ago is, you are enough. You are, I would say, love freely. It's not a weakness.
Okay.
You know?
And what does love freely mean to you?
It's very much like just being caring. And okay, how can I say this? Coming from the background we come from, it's very much, strength is seen as being aggressive. And I know that there was a period of my time where I would lead with aggression and anger in a way to demand respect, if you get what I mean. But I wasn't happy internally, because that's not me. I'm not.
Is it kind of like your environment kind of made you like that, but really deep down inside you didn't want to be angry? You didn't want to be
I just want to be butterflies and do you know what I mean?
And you're not a hard person. You're very like sensitive.
Exactly.
You're soft.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? You're kind-hearted. So
for a while I kind of would cover all of that up, and yet it was making me unhappy, because that's not how I'm not like that.
So how did you get out of that notion? How did you fix that?
Depression.
And it happens.
No, I don't think, you know what? Because you go through a low moments.
Yeah.
And you realise the only way to get out is by being you. And by accepting you.
No, facts.
Do you know?
100%.
Any times that I'm having to play a character,
Yeah.
it leads me into a sloppy downhill.
When you're not being you.
When I'm not being me.
100%.
But the moment you accept certain things, for instance, in my sensitivity, if I'm caring to somebody and it goes wrong, no skin off my nose.
Yeah.
My conscience is not changed.
Yeah.
I don't hate myself.
Yeah.
I don't break myself apart.
Yeah.
Whereas if internally I want to be caring and instead I'm having to be aggressive, when I'm going away, I'm ruminating over that because internally I'm not happy with my decision. I'm not happy with what I've done.
Yeah.
Now, that doesn't mean that that's not normal. People do that all the time.
Yeah.
However, I've learned for me to stay centered. I just stay hope. And hope is caring, hope is sensitive, hope is...
exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
And hope is enough.
Hope is enough.
Yeah.
You know?
No, 100%. And then what is the other thing? I think you said 2, so there's one more.
There's one more. The third thing, is it in regards to relationships per se?
Let's do a relationships one, because we've done 2 about you. So what about a relationship one?
Relationship one, I would say perseverance.
Okay.
I would say perseverance.
Yeah.
I think in the past... Even with friends, I'm talking relationships, friends as across the board.
Yeah.
I can say that I'm somebody who's learning and working on my communication skills.
Okay.
Working on my sensitivity as well, because unfortunately it's a double-edged sword. You're so sensitive that you can't take what people have to say to you. So then people can't say anything to you, but in the long run, the relationship is now kind of you're building a bridge. Because there's a resentment on their end. They want to say these things. When people communicate with us, I've come to understand that that's a way of actually trying to keep me in their lives. And that's a way of me trying to keep somebody in my life. So, and in order to persevere, the communication has to take place. If you know what I mean.
It's true, but if you're not accepting it, it's like there's no bridge.
Exactly.
You're blocking your bridge, basically.
Exactly. So it's about that, being able to understand each other. Being able to communicate with each other, and in turn hoping that both persevere through it to get to the other side.
No, that's a really good point, because sometimes we give up too easy when we do things.
That was me.
So
that is me. Actually, I can say that to some degree. Like that's something I've worked on, because it would be an easy thing. Me and a friend get into a problem. I've turned my back. I don't need that madness.
You just don't want to pass. Like, I ain't got time for this shit.
I don't want to pass. I don't want the pain. But the reality is, there's pain in different ways. There's pain in that moment of you actually expressing that situation with that person and getting it over and done with. But then turning away doesn't change anything. It just builds up. At some point, I'm going to have to deal with that pain. Whether it's that person not being in my life anymore, and I'm looking back and I'm thinking, actually, we could have worked through that.
It didn't have to go down.
It didn't have to go that way, if you know what I mean.
I guess that's the lovely thing about growing, is that you learn new things and you kind of know how to deal with situations. Like, I was listening to my Tony Robbins book yesterday, and he said, if you ever like have a relationship with a friend or whoever it is, and you don't speak to that person anymore for whatever reason, however long it's been, you can easily pick up the phone and say to that person, look, I know we don't speak anymore, I know, we don't effort each other, but I just wanted to tell you that you being in my life was so valuable to me, and I really appreciated you, and I'm grateful for you being in my life at the time that you were. And literally, that could just be it. And like, when I heard that, I was like, rah, like, there's a few people in my life that I stopped speaking to.
Seriously.
I don't speak to anymore. And thank God nothing like bad happened for us not to speak. But when I heard that, I was like, right, there's a certain level of growing that you have to do as a human being to be able to even pick up the phone and speak to somebody that's done you wrong, maybe, or that's hurt you. Do you know what I mean? But that's like such the power of growing. Like, I know like different things that I've been through, and I thought, right, how do I get through that? But it's only because I've learned the tools of how to deal with that situation. And even stuff like counselling really helped me I started like 2 years ago, but it really helps me. And I know you went to like therapy and stuff as well. So how was that for you?
No, therapy, I believe in therapy personally.
Same
I think
here,
it's...
I think everyone needs therapy, boy.
No, trust me. Trust
it's
me.
so needed.
I definitely believe in therapy. I think it opens up doors that maybe you're scared to, I don't know, go through.
Yeah.
It allows you to face yourself. And it's a safe space.
It is.
Because I can say whatever I like and know that I'm not going to hurt no one. I walk away. They're paid to listen.
Exactly. This is your
I'm
job.
not, do you know what I mean? I'm not, because sometimes when we do communicate with friends and we communicate with family members, but sometimes when something's so close to circle one, there's always, your friends will always hate the other person. You know, when it's not helpful. And your family, they'll you know, or they'll have a different view based on what they know of you, and sometimes not allow you to actually say, actually no, this hurt me. And then you know, because when people know you, they can be like, yeah, but you're always like that. Very dismissive of, but it's like, that doesn't change that I was hurt.
There's so much judgment, isn't there?
Exactly.
And that's why I loved like having a counsellor, because it's like, listen, you don't know me from Adam, so whatever I say to you, number one, is confidential, and number two, it's like I can literally tell you anything, and you know how to kind of receive it and the right way to receive it. Like obviously they're not judgmental, and even my counsellor, she's like,